Om Shanti, everyone. I'm inviting you to take a little trip to New York City with me and to visualize a scene on United Nations Plaza, which is also called First Avenue in Manhattan. Let me describe what is First Avenue in Manhattan. It's a street, and on one side, it is a row of tall buildings. And on the other side is the United Nations complex. It is the headquarters of the United Nations overlooking the East River. I'm walking along this street, this avenue, and all of a sudden I'm aware that there is an outline of a form of light walking toward me. I kept looking at this brilliant outline moving in my direction when suddenly a gentleman jumped out of a public telephone booth. This was in the early 80s. Of course, we still had telephone booths. We didn't have cell phones. And this person said to me, "Do you see what I see?" And my response was, "What are you seeing?" And he said, "An angel in brilliant white light." I started laughing as I realized in that moment that it was Didi Manmohini walking toward us on her way to visit the Undersecretary General of the Department of Public Information at the UN. The guy said, "Gosh, I didn't know there were angels walking on the streets of Manhattan." And I replied, "Well, now you know." And we shared an awesome moment. Talking about Didi Manmohini is like being in the awesomeness of presence. The presence of someone who embodied the radiance of God's light. She had an elegance of presence like no other. It was as if her presence of light was seen long before her physical form, and her body was like a shadow following her angelic presence. The elegance of her presence shone through her eyes and entered the souls of others through our eyes. This we call as Didiji's Drishti. It was powerful. It was all-penetrating. It was transformative. With her Drishti, Didiji leaned forward and touched our souls with a beauty that emerged from a depth of pure love. Truth, discipline, kindness, and trust were at the heart of her reality. At the core of Didiji's presence was a profound silence. Subtle ripples rose out of her silence with soft and gentle whispers that touched our lives in captivating ways. People described Didiji's Drishti as magnetic, her words as dynamic, her lightness as riveting, and her spiritual beauty as transcending. Those of us who were fortunate to have been personally touched by the core of silence of Didi's soul felt as if we walked through the door of enlightenment. Just being in her presence, we were able to transform chaos into harmony, contradiction into truth, indifference into kindness, and fear and confusion into trust. I I would describe DDG's presence as transformative. As a Shiv Shakti, she had the power to transform the consciousness of the individual from gross to subtle. Through her way of living, DDG showed us that the path to freedom and clarity lies in simply being your true self. She encouraged in each one that trust lies in the act of being rather than the act of doing. Trust comes from being trustworthy. Self-sovereignty is what Raj Yoga is all about. The return to self-sovereignty calls for a high degree of self-trust. DDG was a master at navigating her journey, through which the integrity of her pure presence flowed naturally and freely. In God, she trusted. She explored self-realization within the divine embrace of God. This divine embrace was like a light within her heart, and nothing could extinguish it. This light illuminated the essence of her presence, and the dignity of her presence was upheld in God's embrace. As we honor DDG's presence, let us remember that she showed us what a Raj Yogi's life is all about. It's about Sat, truth. It's about Chit, being in the purest of awareness. And it's about Anand, bliss. Om Shanti, and thank you.